I'm very excited to be here. I found out about Justin Chin sometime, I can't remember the year, but I think I was in secondary school, so sometime in the early 2000s. Borders were still around then. So I found out about him actually through a different book called Please Don't Shoot the Freshman, which is a YA novel that was started by this girl's blog, I think. She got it published sometime in the late 90s. And in the book, she mentions a person called Justin Chin, who is like her idol sort of thing. And she talks to him a bit. And in the back, there's a glossary which explains who these people are. And she describes Justin Chin as a poet in San Francisco who has pixies living in his butt. And then I thought, well, Justin is a Chinese name, and I went to research him, and I was like, what the fuck? He's a Chinese guy, the Asian guy, not only from Malaysia as well, and he's this crazy person who is gay and a poet, and I didn't know those things were possible back then, basically. So he was an inspiration for me, and so I found his books. I bought his books, ordered some from Amazon later on, and it was huge inspiration for my writing and kind of how I think about stuff, I guess. So this is from his book Gutted, which is basically about his father dying and him flying back and forth between the US and Malaysia, Singapore, and dealing with that. I'll start with a somewhat light-hearted poem called Hashima, which is about the frog egg thing. This deliciously chilled, sweet gelatinous dessert, we could not agree nor ascertain it was Frogcina, a colony of frogs sitting on individual lily pads wanking away, or was it frog sputum, an army of frogs, their long sticky tongues wrapped around webbed digits puking out into half walnut shells, their own little spittoons. No one else was quite so sure either. Reconstituted frog saliva, snow frog glands, which secrete copious amounts of fat which is sorely needed for hibernating, frog brains, pregnant frog placenta, frog fallopian tubes, toad womb. Frog, it turned out to be Rana kensinensis, snow frog blubber, and only from the Jelin Changbai Mountains. Frog stomach, toad fat, frog eggs, what we ate. Rane oviductus, the fat surrounding the oviducts. Touted as having 16 of the 18 essential amino acids, 5 of which are said not found in any other food. Moistens the lungs as a cure for any ache or ill, postpartum lethargy, TB and asthma, kidney disease, cancer, immune system disorders. Second only to bird's nest, the spit of swallows that collect in their twiggy nest. For those who can't afford or can't stomach bird spit, local entrepreneurs have been gutting a room in the second or third level of their homes, making little crevices and nooks, hoping it would prove tempting to the swallows to nest there, drool there. The notion, unsurprisingly, brings up oogies in the West. Oh, those people, they'll eat anything that has its back to the sun. Swallow spit, mountain frog ovary fat. Is honey any different? How far stung is a rash of hope that makes medicine out of a vial? How much sweet is worth sacrificing for the remotest possibility of wholeness? The impulse to nourish weighed against the vial, ick for ick. Who quantifies the foul? What sort of calipers are used? Down it goes. Does it go down better? Imported and rechristened snow jelly. Then there's a short one. So I was reading through this, and he actually has a lot of poems which kind of imagine his own death and how people will remember him or not. And it's pretty, it's kind of crazy to read, and I don't know, meta and quite weird to read. So I'm going to read one of them, which is also somewhat light-hearted. I would not mind getting the cancer that Ali McGraw gets in Love Story. The cancer where as you lay dying, you become more beautiful and more moisturized. The classic death would be Garbo's Camille, but all that coughing and flopping around on the bed is just so undignified. I realized she had consumption, but at least Nicole Kidman in Moulin Rouge still managed to karaoke with that consumption. I certainly wouldn't want the cancer Deborah Winger gets in terms of endearment. Come to laugh, come to cry, come to care, come to terms. Oh, just go away already. The death I would most like is Bette Midler's in The Rose, where up on stage in front of a packed house, I'll tell the story of the first time I heard the blues, and as the story winds down, my speech all slurry and raised to an odd minor chord, I'll wonder, why is it so dark? Who turned off all the lights? Where's everybody gone? And then I'll collapse and die. My one request for my funeral is that at no point should I Believe I Can Fly be sung, played, hummed, mumbled, muttered, mentioned, or thought of. This is how poltergeist activity gets started. But I know my death will not kill me. Rather, it is the death of others that will kill me. We'll do one short one, and one long one. Okay. This one's a bit sadder. Lately, I've been thinking about the long-standing nature of love and of happiness and all that stuff, about my life as it stands, held together with little bits of string. In my early life, my need to belong and my need for security made me accept such stupid and lethal conditions. In my later life, I should have known better, but the stupid and lethal stuff was always the most fun. When I was of that age, I thought the question coming was to be, what have I done with my life, and how will I be remembered? Now I am at that age, and I remember the question should have been, and was always, what have I done to my life? How will I be forgotten? Okay, so this one he wrote, I think, sort of on about his father's death. It's called The Last. It's a long list poem, and I found it was quite powerful. I won't read the whole thing. I start sort of 1/4 of the way down. This is the last dance. Let's dance this last dance for love. This is the last exit, the final exit. I'm going to miss the off-ramp if you keep distracting me. This is the last software upgrade, the last illegal download, the last sidetrack you'll ever need. This is the last time a song you hear on the radio will exactly encapsulate your feelings or will seem dirty or sexy. This is the last non sequitur to make sense, the last time nonsense will ever contain an unthought jewel of sense. This is the last hunger pang, the last royal of jealousy, the last feeling of inadequacy. This is the last time you will be first. The last time you will be first to know, the first to believe, the first to fall. This is the last temptation. There will be no more trials after this one. This is the last jellyfish sting anyone will suffer. They are all extinct now. They were delicious. This is the last time sequential order made sense, the last time you used pi, the last calculation. This is the last time you will look like yourself, healthy, normal, like how you want people to remember you before the steroids puffed you up, before the meds gave you a hump, wasted your heft away. This is the last time I can truly say I am clean. This is the last of our demons. From now on, you will fear nothing that cannot be seen or named. From now on, I will fear everything that you do not fear. This is the last stretch, the last free ride, the last open road. I will be paid taking public transport, and you'll probably hitchhike from here on. Even as we both have nowhere to go, no place to be. This is the last time you can tell anyone this is the house you moved into before your 7th birthday. This is the last time you can sit beside the mango tree in the backyard over where your first cat you ever called your own was buried. It is not your garden anymore, and this is the last time you'll ever have a backyard or a garden. This is the last time anything lasted this long and felt this good and made this much sense, and you thought it would never end, or that it would surely return someday soon. This is where you get the last laugh. Take it graciously. This is the last vestige of your youthful invincibility, your vainglorious visions of your future, your fearless swagger. This is the last sachet of my fearless swagger. My sagging ass will never announce its arrogance with such perkiness again. And at last, what really lasts? The material buckles and collapses, lifetimes teeter and implode, the inertia thickens and every little speck gyres to this last measure, this end game of cul-de-sacs and open all-night black holes, this end where everything ends. The cowboy frees his horse into the lush green meadows, lays down his pistol and strolls off into the sunset, but walks smack face first into the ultra-realistic backdrop of a movie lot. Red-faced, he tries to walk back into what he now realizes is a setup. He tries to reclaim his role as a hero, but his trusty steed is long gone, his pistols rusted beyond salvage. All he has is a Charlie horse and bullets that don't fit into any gun's barrel. He has boxes and crates of those, and now the set is in decay, paint peeling and chipped, dusty and tarnished, falling down in heaves. The builders have emigrated to shinier worlds, and the costumers and wardrobe ladies are all on strike. All they have left behind is a barn full of tumbleweed. So apropos for this rapidly incipient ghost town. Here, he is now the resident hobo. Everyone he knows or knew has been recast, and the popping he hears in his ears are just the sound of his joints. His pelvis, his hips splintering and fracturing under the strain of playing buckaroo for so long. The final frame, accompanied by an overswelling score and an untempered French horns, proclaim the end, as if we didn't already know. We are led to worry about the end of the world, but if truth be told, The world ends every day until all worlds end. And these are the lasts, the firsts, and all the dithering middles. And over here, at this end, ever so slightly, I lift my head out of the dirt and ash. Without grudge or gripe or quarrel, I gather vertebrae by tendon, by cartilage, tablespoon by blood and semen, milliliter of spit by tablespoon of bile and sweat, bone by organ by ounce, skin gram by gram of flesh. I pick up and I start again.